Hi and welcome to another Watch Geek video. Today, we take a look at a Mileneal Prestige automatic watch. Mileneal contacted me about a month ago asking if I'm willing to review a timepiece from their new collection, and since I do not consider myself a watch snob, I'm always willing to give everyone a chance if they accept my one and only condition. And that is that I get to say what I want to say, the good, the bad, and everything in between. Mileneal accepted my condition and offered me a model from their latest Prestige series. The Prestige series comes as both quartz powered by the Swiss-made Ronda movement and as an automatic mechanical powered by the Miyota 9015. As you can see by the movement of the seconds hand and the automatic inscription on the dial, I went with the mechanical version. The quartz is a pretty good value at $95, while this is slightly more at around $200, which again for a Miyota 9015 seems reasonable, as it is a 28,800 bph movement with both hacking and hand winding, and is considered a higher grade movement than both Miyota 8200 and Seiko NH35 that are usually found at this price point. Other than the movement option, you also get to choose between 3 colorways, apparently inspired by nature. So you can choose between the ocean blue, winter silver, and this, the aurora green, inspired by the northern lights. In the pictures, the aurora green seemed the most interesting looking, so I went with that. Luckily, I can confirm that I wasn't wrong, as in person this looks even better. The sunburst dial with a gradient transition from light to dark really makes this watch stand out. The domed crystal accentuates the darkness of the edge, giving the illusion the whole dial curves downwards. The crystal itself is mineral with a sapphire coating on top. I wish they went with pure sapphire, as I'm not a fan of laminated crystals. That is one of the two things that bug me about the watch. The second one is the siwss that the watch suffers from. For you who don't follow my channel regularly, siwss stands for shortness of hands syndrome, that some watches have when hands are disproportionately short compared to the dial. This is not as bad as one of the Orient Bambino versions, but it seems a shame that hands shaped as beautifully as these are not longer, especially the seconds hand. Although the lume on this watch is non-existent, thanks to the faceted hands and markers, the watch does seem readable in every condition except total darkness. The case itself is 40 mm in diameter with a relatively short lug-to-lug of 47.5, making it wearable on any size wrist. I would personally like a smaller case because the dial does make it wear larger, but I can understand why they went with a more modern size. The most surprising measurement is the thickness. It measures 11.5 mm, but to my eye it looks like a sub 10 mm watch. The reason for that is the case shape, as the side profile has a very thin vertical surface, while the rest are curvatures to both your wrist and to the domed crystal. In fact, when we remove the crystal, the watch is just 9 mm thick, which explains the thin impression it gives. The whole case is brushed with only the bezel and case back being polished. The crown is at 3 o'clock and one of the easiest to operate I have ever tried, despite the modest size. I think it is thanks to the shape that makes it easy to grab and also very hard to slip, despite the very fine knurling. The watch does feature an exhibition caseback that gives you a clear view of the Miyota 9015. The view isn't bad either, as the movement does feature some light decoration. Also, thanks to the reasonable size of the case, the movement looks like it belongs in this watch. Unlike the Citizen Grand Touring Diver I reviewed, where it looked tiny in that large 45 mm case. The strap the watch comes with is leather with an embossed crocodile pattern. It is nothing special, but it's not that bad either. I love the fact it has quick release pins, as I'm starting to adore those. They not only make for an easy strap removal and installation, but also eliminate any possible scratches to the lugs we create when using conventional tools. So overall, this is a pretty decent watch for the money. The brand name is a bit cringy and gave me a shadow of doubt when I first thought about the watch, but after spending some time with it, I cannot deny it is a well-executed watch with a restrained classical design. The emerald green dial gives it enough uniqueness to stand out, and it does draw attention, as this is one of the rare watches my colleagues actually noticed when I wore it to work. Well, that's it when it comes to this week's review, so thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed and found it useful. If you did, please like and subscribe, and until the next video, bye.